I am Linda Deir, and this guy right here.
This guy over here is Ray Holly, the Master of Marketing Mojo here at Guided Press, Linda's publisher.
That's right. I got my own publisher. Yes.
I have a job.
And how do you like your job?
I love my job. I love my boss.
See that?
Look at that background. No wonder I'm sweating so much. We're here in the Valley of the Sun.
Where are we, Ray?
Phoenix,
Arizona.
Where it was a cool day today, only 111.
Right. That's. You don't go out on these days, at least in the daytime.
I had to today, though.
Yeah, I know. Right. Okay, so we're going to get started here. Each week in Linda's weekly guided insights, I ask my spirit guides, what's the most important thing for you to know right now? We channel these insights using Ask the Universal Channel, the same way your spirit guides and angels interact with you in a personal angel coaching session with me. Look for these links in the description of this video. Tonight, the guides will be talking about being forced to decide will be your litmus test. This was published today in Linda's weekly guided insights. And like always, Ray will be monitoring the Facebook feed for your questions and comments. So feel free to speak up and let me know what's on your mind regarding tonight's insight. Being forced to decide will be your litmus test. What are you really being asked to decide? Do you want to live in a balanced life in both worlds, or struggle from living in just the material world? The reason you get stuck in the material world is that you run your life on autopilot. Everything you decide is a reactionary response to the lack of time you think you have. But others who are living in both worlds simultaneously have the same amount of time you have. So how do they do it? The litmus test happens when you feel the pressure of being forced to decide. However, when you don't feel the pressure of being forced to decide, yet you see that a decision needs to be made, you don't panic about it making this decision. You get quiet and breathe and let the decision come to you. Now, both worlds are working on it together. That's the goal right there. In other words, you guys, this, just to finalize that thought, the whole point to this is this life is not supposed to be hard. When we're just in this world, in the material world, and we're disconnected from the world we came from, the before life, our spirit guides, and our true self, okay? And we're just, we pushed that away when we were little tiny kids and forgot we did that, okay? And we find ourselves just in this world, but in the grips of this world. No wonder you can't make a decision. You're paralyzed. You're frightened. You panic. You're in fear. And that leads to struggle and also where you resist most things that come to you because you don't trust yourself. And you don't trust yourself because you are not present. You are not. It's a shadow of you, the survival part of you, you know, the animal instinct part of you. That's in this world that is expected to make those decisions. Really good decisions. How could you possibly do that when you are missing in action? You have to bring yourself back. So Ray, who do we have with us today?
Well, let's see. We have Joy and Kathy.
You guys.
And Ray Holly. And Linda Deir.
All right, that's okay. They watch us in the replay.
There's some other people watching too, but I can't see them yet.
Oh, okay. Well, let Ray know. Leave in the Facebook feed. Just say hi. Let us know that you're there. And do ask your questions around this topic tonight, which is being forced to decide will be your litmus test. It'll be the test that when you feel that pressure to decide, you'll know that you're just here. That's the proof that you're disconnected. When you feel forced, that pressure on you, that's when you know it. And the only way you can bring that back into balance so that you are fully engaged, you are present, you are connected, is to sit back, surrender, let go of this, and the pressure that you feel that you need to make a decision right now. You've got to have the answer. You have to know. Okay, I don't care what happens. I really mean that. This just being in this world and reacting like you're just in this is all there is, will not help you. Okay, you'll just bump around and you kind of make a decision that's kind of halfway good and bad and not right, and you could do so much better if you just sat back, took that breath, released the stress in your body. You've got to learn to do this, you guys. That's when everything just falls into place. Because what you basically did, let's say the traffic's going by, the traffic is going by. What you did is you got out of the way of the traffic. You let it go by, and the fact that you did that, you can't get in it and get the answers you need. Know what decision you need to make when you're in the rat race. All right, doing what everybody else is doing, following what's screaming at you from this world. You can't possibly make a good decision. I just can't help it. That's why I wrote this book. Bring this back out when you feel that pressure on you and you feel stifled by it. Something happened that really rocked your world, okay? Take your journal out, part 3, and start writing about what that issue is, what that dilemma is. What is it that you feel pressured to decide? Okay?
Well, I started doing a little research on this, and you're pressured to decide on just about everything.
True.
I looked up, did some research.
I don't talk to Ray about what he's going to be talking about in these, but he comes up with them, and it's a great big surprise to me. So let's enjoy Ray.
Here we go.
Okay.
How many decisions do you think the average American makes in a day?
Where did you find this information?
I'm a researcher.
Okay, Ray. How many decisions do you make in a day?
A day, the average American.
Okay, I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay. Brace yourself.
Please don't answer that question.
Okay.
Answer the question, you guys. In the feed, I'm asking you guys to ask questions.
Yeah.
But this time, I want you to answer what you think that answer is, okay?
Take a guess.
And with you, I'm going to write down what my answer would be, okay? Without you looking. You can't see, Ray.
This is like a game show.
Don't look. I'm going to say, okay, there. I got mine. Okay, everybody, leave your answer.
Let me see your answers.
We want your answer.
All right, guys. Heather, Linda, Schwartz, Joy, write down your answer. Joy says 120.
Ours is pretty close, Joy.
How many decisions does the average American make in a day?
Okay, yeah. Research this. So leave your.
Oh, millions. Somebody said millions.
Millions in a day.
Denise says over 200.
Who said that?
Denise.
Okay, over 200. I'm feeling like my answer might be wrong now.
Come on, some more answers. We got 50, 150, millions, over 200, another 50. Anybody else? 10 seconds. 10
okay,
seconds.
Linda Schwartz. We know Linda has an opinion on this.
50. She said 50.
50. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we ready for the right answer? 35,000.
Get out of here.
No. The average person makes 35,000 decisions a day. More than 250 of them are about food.
Food.
But here's how they're all categorized. I never stopped to think about this. You make impulse decisions. Hundreds and thousands of impulse decisions where you have to make a decision right now. Compliance. You have to make decisions about whether or not you're going to comply with something. You make delegating decisions where you delegate it to somebody else.
You're the boss.
Yeah. Avoidance. You make decisions to avoid making decisions.
Ooh.
All right?
Okay.
Balance, which is what we're going to talk about tonight, you make decisions about balancing things in your life where you go through and you weigh all the possibilities, you weigh all the factors, you go over it and over it and over it. Okay?
Don't you hate those?
And then you make all kinds of decisions about prioritizing your day.
Right.
And those end up being like thousands. The article's at 35,000.
That's crazy. Okay.
That is nuts.
Okay.
No wonder people don't like to make decisions.
Here's why that is. They're not making decisions. They're doubting the decision they're thinking about making. That's what they're really doing.
They're being forced. They're reacting.
They're overreacting to having to make the decision. Again, tonight's topic is about being forced. Being forced to decide will be your litmus test. So to the degree that you feel the pressure to decide is letting you know how out of balance you are at that moment. Remember that everything is just moment to moment. One moment, you're totally balanced. You're together. You're connected. You've got everything it takes to make that best decision. Okay. There is no struggle. There is no the litmus test doesn't affect you. That is your test. You passed it. Okay. But when you feel that pressure, that burden, that dread to have an answer, make a decision, that's when you know you're disconnected. Remember this, you guys. These are the little tiny things that are huge in your life that let you know right where you are at any given moment. Okay? When you notice this, you've got to, in order to catch this stuff and get sharp and get really good at this, write it in your journal in part 3. I hit a decision today. It challenged me. And when it did, I knew it was that litmus test Linda talked about. I knew I was just in this world. I was letting it have me. Okay? It had a hold of me. And I did sit back. I did relax and loosen up my body and release that pressure that prevents me from making a good decision because I'm disconnected for that moment. All right? And now that I'm breathing and stretching and relaxing my body and just letting it come to me, I feel tingles. I feel alive. I feel connected. Now all I have to do is just sit there and just let it come to me. And in that moment that it comes to you, you have to write it down. You have to do it, you guys, because in time you're going to be so fast at this, but you've got to start taking these steps of writing it down. What you realize, where you've been challenged in the decision-making process, write it down. And when you got your act together and the decision came to you, and write that down. That's the success story. That's how you're going to overcome these hurdles about making a good decision and staying balanced and not just going, oh, it's a big decision. Oh my God. Oh, you're back over here again, and you're back in fright, panic, and fear, and doubt. And oh man, no way. Okay.
Most of these. Well, first of all, the first thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, you start the day with making decisions. And then as your eyes pop open, you have to make a decision of, am I going to get up out of bed or am I going to hit the snooze alarm? Right?
Yeah.
That's how your day starts.
Yeah.
You start by making decisions, and then they just start rolling in one after another.
And that's where, and let me say this, that's where people,
Sure.
People will say things like, well, I woke up this morning and my day started out like, okay, you see? It seems to, these kind of things start out that way in the day. So when you catch yourself moving the wrong way and you're disconnected and you're not in balance, you're out of balance again. Take your little orange juice or your cup of coffee or tea and go outside, sit, and give yourself a break and let yourself off that stress monster merry-go-round. Let yourself off of it, because all you're going to do is battle with it all day long, and it's going to work against you. It's going to wear you out, and you won't have an effective day, an efficient day doing that.
I mean,
and most of all, you won't be having fun. Remember what I said at the beginning of this? Your life is not supposed to be hard, you guys. We make it hard when we get pulled back into that. All right, go ahead, Ray.
Well, you're making decisions constantly, even if you don't realize you are. I mean, when you sit down, so you get up, am I going to have coffee or tea? You sit down at your computer, and am I going to read my email first? Which email am I going to read first? Oh, I remember I had to do this. I had to send an email. Should I read the news? Should I see how the stock market?
Does that stress you out?
It can stress you out.
You can tell. You can tell that it can stress Ray out. Okay, it doesn't stress me out. I love it. All right, but Ray has a different personality than I do. So he'll sit at his and he'll start letting the day just like freak him out. That happens a lot of times, Ray, with you. And you let.
I'm a work in progress.
I know you are. I mean, I love the guy anyway, but he does get in his own way, and he does make sometimes a mountain out of a molehill. Back off when you catch yourself doing that.
Well, that's how you get a stress headache. I mean, I'm convinced how I get stress headaches. All of a sudden, I have a headache, which I didn't have 15 minutes ago.
Okay, let me help you with that one, Ray. And I'm just going to bring out Louise Hay's book, okay?
And we have some more people joining us. Marla Martinson, hi Marla.
Great,
Martinson,
Marla.
Patty Friedman and Paul Norris. Hi, everybody.
Guys. All right, we're talking about,
we're talking about decisions, making decisions, and we've already
What's the name of it?
It is Being Forced to Decide Will Be Your Litmus Test.
Okay, here's headaches. Ray says he'll get headaches, okay? When it's time to make those decisions, all those decisions early in the morning. Okay, Louise Hay, headaches. Invalidating the self, self-criticism. Okay.
I see that.
Here is a big critic right here. This guy named Ray Holly. He is his own worst enemy sometimes. He's real critical of himself. He tries, there's no one that tries harder than Ray, or does really good work, really good. But, for him, he grew up in the Catholic, what would you call it? The
Catholic prison.
Well, whatever. The Catholic nuns.
Faith. Oh, yeah.
The Catholic faith. Okay. And they were tough on the kids, And so for Ray, he's got to get over this chastising impact he took. Okay. It's still with him. Now there's this thing called flogging. Flogging?
Yeah.
And it's where they take something like, what do they do?
Cat of nine tails with big thorns on it.
And they swing it over their back and
as they walk down the middle of the market in the street.
Oh, on display.
On display, yeah.
And then their backs are bleeding?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so sometimes Ray wakes up in the morning and flogs himself.
Mentally flogs myself.
I don't mean he physically does it. But that's the kind of stuff that gets in the way of just, enjoying your life. This is not supposed to be hard. And just I love it, okay? Bring them on. I love those decisions, okay? But I know I'm in both worlds. I know I'm not alone. I know when the answers come to me, I didn't make them by myself. I had help. I was connected and I was directed, okay, by the best guides, by the best guidance there possibly could be. My guides, my spirit guides, my angels, and everyone else who looks out for me and helps me on this journey, And you guys have the same thing. As long as you put it into action, it's there. And you write down what's going on so that you become conscious of it, okay? And no longer, once in a while, like what Ray goes through, you might get, wake up in the morning and you just don't feel good that day. Okay, that doesn't mean that every day is going to be a great day when you wake up. Sometimes you just don't feel good. And when you're asked to make decisions on those days and you don't feel good, then you need to put that decision off until tomorrow, okay? Learn to manage your life. Don't let people manage you. Don't let them push you around from this world and frighten you and make you panic and make you feel like you have to, you've got to do it right now type of thing. No, you don't, okay?
A big bulk of the decisions that you have to make in a day fall into that prioritizing area. prioritizing
Just
decisions.
exactly
You
what
have
I
so
said.
many decisions, you don't know which one to do first.
Okay, I don't feel so overwhelmed by him, and I don't know that everybody does. Ray's really hard on himself. I mean, oh my God, you know.
It goes back to, like you said, the Catholic upbringing where you
Part
you
two,
can't make the wrong decision.
part two, taking the journey, chapter 1 through 18. Case in point. Okay, Ray still has some work to do, you guys.
I am a work in progress.
Okay, what questions do we have around today's topic? Being forced to decide will be your litmus test. It lets you know how you're doing. Are you connected? Are you in balance? You know, how are you doing today? You know, where are you today, right now? Okay, in the moment. It lets you know instantly. And when you feel like this has you, you back off. You just tell everyone, put them on notice. Stop it. You're not going to get a decision out of me like that. Do not pressure me, force me, make me feel guilty or whatever. I don't do my best decision making under that kind of pressure. You know, you guys, you've got to learn to stand up for yourself and just push back. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to insult them, but if they're going to push you that hard, you have permission to push back.
Okay, guess who joined us?
Who joined us?
Brad Miller.
Brad,
we were just thinking about you the last couple of days.
Oh, Brad, we hope you can make it to our live event in Phoenix at Storm Wisdom.
Week from Saturday.
Yes, a week from Saturday.
September the 7th.
September 7th from 1 to 3 p.m.
We would love to see you again.
We'd love to have you with us there, Brad. All right, we love having you. This is about being forced to decide will be your litmus test, okay? So you guys, questions. Let's grab those questions.
Okay, Joy says, how am I doing with decision making and staying in both worlds at the same time?
I love that question, and Joy, such a well-formed question. We're going to let your spirit guides answer that because only they know that answer because they're with you all the time, all right? They know right where you are, right where you are. And by the way, they never criticize you guys. They don't. They support you, love you. They're your biggest fans, is your spirit guides and angels. Okay, and here they go, Joy.
Joy, the best way to tell how well you are doing making decisions is to look at the ones you are not making. Which decisions are you putting off? Which ones have you said, well, I'm not going to make a decision about that right now. This is the no decision is a decision position. These are the decisions you need to write down, the ones you're having trouble making, and look at each one individually to see what is the stumbling block. Once you identify it, the decision path will become clear.
Okay, now the fact, I'm going to say the way that they worded this to you, Joy, today, they showed you what you need to do before they even answered your question. So what they really did is in answering you the way they did, they assumed that you know that they see where you are lacking in some of the decisions that you need to make.
Yeah, because they answered
how's
she doing with decision making.
So if I was to translate this for you, the guides really, what they really bypassed, they're assuming you know this, is You're not making all the decisions you need to make. You're putting them off. Okay, so you feel like not making a decision is a decision type of thing. You just can't. You don't know how to make the decision. So they're taking you back to the drawing board and telling you to write down what those decisions that you are putting off in part 3. Do not expect to have the answer to the decision, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect to do that. Just do what your guides told you, exactly what they told you. Write down what are the decisions that you're putting off. Take it and close it. Go back to it, let it go, completely let it go. And let the decision come to you. Because guess what? Now they're helping you work on it. Your spirit guides and angels are helping you work on it because you did your part. You wrote it down. Now they see where you grounded it into this life. You took it out of the ethers and you put it here. And this is a call for help. In fact, when you write it down, just say, this is my call for help from my spirit guides and angels to help me with these decisions that I'm having difficulty making. Okay, that's what you do. And then when you do that, let's let them take it from there, right?
You are doing well with the decisions you are making.
Okay, once she writes it in here where she's having issues around asking the decisions you told her to write down, and that she asked you to help her with making those decisions, what will happen from that?
The answer will show itself in time to make the decision.
What they mean is on time.
The many other decisions that come easy don't need this type of scrutiny.
Right. Okay, there it is, Joy. Always breathe, you guys. Breathe and stretch out your upper body. Stretch it out. Get the stress and tension and pressure out of you, okay? And write it down. Deposit the decision you need to make onto the pages. Ask for the help. Close it, put it down, and let it work. Stay tuned in. You can't just turn it all off. Stay tuned in for that solution.
What do you do when somebody's pressuring you for a decision? I need a decision by Friday. How do you handle that?
How would you handle that, Ray? How have you handled that?
Well, now you just have to say it's Monday, and now you just have 4 more days to go through, weigh all the different options.
Okay. That would not.
That's more work.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer that like it's me.
Okay.
If it's Monday and somebody says, I have to have that answer by Friday, I look at it like, I got this deal. I'm good with this. I'm going to have the answer. Totally. Because I'm not going to get sucked into this world and let the concept of, I have to have it by Friday, strangle me. I'm not going to do that. I've got until Friday. I'll have the answer probably by tomorrow, but I'll just, take my time and I'll answer them by Friday. I'll write it down when it comes through. It's there, and I'm on with my next project. Not a sweat. I do not throw reason all over it. I don't worry about it. I might write it down and just go, okay, there it is. Okay, let's work on that. Let's get that done. I am connected. I'm saying I have help. I'm connected. I'm co-creating my life. I'm not alone, all right? And I know I've got help, and I know it every single time. So the decision that comes through is always way better than had I forced it, just living in this world from part of me rather than all of me, okay?
See, I'm the kind of guy, I would go, when I try to go to bed that night, I'd lay there and
He does.
worry about,
He does.
can't sleep.
And here's a guy that's connected. Here's a guy that, look at how good he is at this. And he still falls back into that because that early program, you guys, part 2, taking the journey, chapter 1 through 18, the early programming that you need to walk through this journey, take this journey and flush out these things that got a hold of you and stifled you as a little kid and kept you frozen ever since. It's tragic. That's why I do this work, you guys. I know it's not supposed to be like that.
Okay, Joy's got a good observation.
Yeah.
She says, I thought I was doing pretty well, but it seems like there are a lot of things I don't really even know what the question is. Yeah, a lot of times you can't even understand the question.
Okay, explain that to me, Ray. Give us an example.
I'm trying to think of an example.
Joy, give us an example.
Well, if you don't understand the question, or somebody presented something to you that was vague to begin with.
Well, then you need clarification before you answer that.
Right.
Don't step into that.
Yeah.
And clarify on that. I want an example on that, Joy, because everybody needs to know. They need to connect with what you're talking about, all right? This is a big thing, you guys. People really get stopped out when it comes time to making decisions. It's become so complicated, and I'm going to say the reason for this. I can't help it. I got to just say it, okay? And I got to say it like I see it. You guys were really seriously programmed to just be in this world and comply with that pressure and those demands, okay? When I was a little kid, what they kept telling me, Linda, you don't get it. And they were right. I couldn't function in just this world. From 20 months old in Guided, from 20 months old on, I knew this world was not all there was. It opened up my whole world. I realized I was connected. I wasn't alone in this. And I always had access to my guides to get my answers, to know what to do, to know when to get in and when to get out of any situation, a relationship, a business proposition, a business venture I got into, one I didn't get into because I waited for that co-creation decision to come through, okay? I don't force it. I know. I lay in bed in the morning. Here's another thing. I lay in bed in the morning for at least, I'm good at this, okay? So sometimes I don't need to do it as long, at least 5 minutes, and many times 15 minutes or so. And I just let them talk to me. I'm not flooding my head with all the things I'm going to do that day, okay? Did you notice I said all the things I'm going to do, I get to do, not the things I have to do? That's chastising. I don't have to do anything, all right, in my world. I do it because I love it, all right? And so you wake up with that and you let yourself float in that slumber, that twilight between here and there, and let them talk to you. And they many times will tell you something you need to get done that day that you had no idea you needed to do. That turned out to be really important. Okay, go ahead, Ray.
Okay, a couple of good things here. Now, Joy says, so there's a question comes back. Oh, there it is. Like she's trying to come up with solutions to take care of her mom, but she really doesn't know the questions to ask because this is like uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Plus, you're dealing with somebody who's not all there, like I did with my mother for 10 years. It's hard to make decisions.
So how does she handle this situation? And we know what she's talking about, enough. Yeah. Okay, here they go, Joy.
When you have to make decisions for someone else, you can be assured that no matter what your decision is, they won't like it. Okay.
You've been given a really lousy job.
No.
Taking care of a mother who has dementia, Alzheimer's, or whatever, and she's older, and you don't know how long she's going to go on like this. I mean, there's probably not going to be a cure for it in her lifetime. So this could be a long-term thing. So the decisions you're making are awesome. You know why? She has you there. Most people don't have anybody.
Right.
So Joy, again, you're letting this world just grab a hold of you and strangle that part of you. Don't let that happen. She is the most lucky mom there could possibly be.
Right.
And plus, you were a nurse. I mean, come on, Joy. You've got so much to offer that situation. There's nobody. If anybody criticizes you, shame on them.
Here's another good observation from Denise.
Yeah.
Decision making was taken out of our hands when we were young, as
Yep.
we had to conform to the rules: boarding school, home, society. Like you didn't even have your own mind or your own say.
That's
So I
why.
find at times making decisions are not as easy as I leave it to somebody else. I am getting there. Same thing is, that's right. That's right on. Plus the fact, getting back to Joy and her mother, and the decisions I had to make for my mother, the tough ones, taking over her finances and taking over her life, basically running her life for her.
Paying all her bills.
Well, not only that, I didn't mind all that, but the perception from the other person, from my mother, was, well, she was the one that gave all the orders and made the decisions when I was growing up as a kid. And now I'm doing that for her? I mean, they resent that.
Oh, you mean the parent resents you taking
Right.
over?
Yeah, all of a sudden you're the parent.
Yeah, they resent that.
Right.
So you know what, Joy? You have a really shitty job.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't word it any differently. I can't nice that one up, all right? So there's appropriate time to use a curse word. And you have been put in a position that, here's what I get with you, Joy. You need to manage this situation. You're new into it. You're early on. You need to manage this situation in a way that makes sense. That doesn't forget about being perfect with your decisions. There is no way that's going to be happening
Right.
in an imperfect situation. There's no possibility of it, all right? And is she going to be grateful to you? No. She's going to, in fact, as this progresses, she's going to sit back like the little child and go, no, and fight you and be a little brat and stuff like that. You've got to be prepared for the reality of this disease, okay?
It's a wicked disease.
And you've got to take time out for Joy. You've got to get away from this. You've got to find somebody to fill in the spot. People get sitters for their dogs, all right? You can get a sitter for your mom, somebody who gets this, and get away from it. You've got to do that at the very least. I mean, if not, find a facility to take her on, okay? I know that's a big, thing, and there's guilt with it, and that's your mom, and oh my God. Okay, you're being really, being forced to decide will be your litmus test for sure. This will be one of the areas that you are going to be pushed to your limit.
Right.
To grow, to become stronger, because you are connected. You have the power when you're connected, all right? But Joy, I swear, you've got to write this stuff down so you don't get wishy-washy in the deal, okay? That's why you have to do it. You get strong and you get connected. You get so solid in this connection that you don't doubt it, no matter what the outside world, how they judge you, how they may attack you. I've had it all, you guys. And you know what? I still know I did my best, no matter what. All right? Yeah.
A lot of people allow something else to creep into the decision-making process. It's the taking things personally. What are my friends or family or coworkers gonna think?
Okay,
if
we're
I
back to
decide
that.
to go that
Okay,
way
there
or
you
this
go.
way?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know Ray's right about that. And you know what? That's just a bunch of BS. Okay, you guys have to get over this thing about worrying. The minute you do that, the connection you had is severed.
Right,
It's gone.
'cause you're going to make a decision to try to please everybody.
There's no way. You're never going to do it.
Can't do it.
Here's my take on that. You know what I tell people? If I have somebody who decides that they don't like me, or they heard a rumor, somebody said, "Oh, Linda, blah, blah, blah," okay, whatever. She thinks she's so smart, or whatever it happens to be. It's stupid. And somebody believes it. You know what I tell? They go, "Well, da da da," and I go, "You know what? You had two choices. You had the choice to believe that, because you don't know if any of that's true, or not believe that, and you chose to believe it. So that tells me that you need to believe that about me. You need to not like me. That's your business. I'm not gonna try to make you like me. I don't care if you like me. Okay? I like me. I do the things I love, and I'm not going to let that one person's opinion of me or need to not like me. And you're going to find that it's called jealousy. All right? And you just do not let that into your life, you guys. You've got to become strong and resist that.
I mean, I went through this whole thing with my family.
I know.
My mother came from a large family, 9 kids, okay? So there's all kinds of relatives. But when I started making decisions for my mother when she got ill, they all criticized me, and they made it pretty blatant.
Okay, did you expect them to think you were a good guy and you were really amazing, that you were helping your mom and you stepped in?
I never thought otherwise myself.
You never thought what otherwise?
That I wasn't doing the right thing for her.
Right, exactly. Ray sat there with the decision. He collected himself. He trusted himself, his intuition, his connection, and he made the decision for his mom, one after another, until he heard the what do you call it? Through the grapevine, he heard what the relatives were saying about him, criticizing him, right?
Or just
until he heard that, he never doubted his decisions. Did you?
No, I never did. And then pretty soon.
Did you?
No,
after that?
Never.
But did you after they started criticizing you?
Oh no, it just upset me because
he's my guy, right there.
And then they would.
But it upset him.
They would not only criticize me right to my face, they would interfere with the process that I had her in.
Okay, I'm going to tell on Ray. Ray passed the litmus test for making decisions. Where he failed is his need for people to approve of him, to appreciate him. That's where he failed. He's still letting that have him. That still hits him like dead on. Where it's almost like walking around with no clothes on. And then, everyone's looking at you like, okay, it's like that. He's so vulnerable. He's so exposed. He's so, he needs to heal that, you guys. It's that need to be appreciated, loved, liked, and that's where this litmus test will bring out your shortcomings and say, ooh, spotlight, you might be able to make a good decision or not, but here's his deficiency. Spotlight on his need to be liked. Okay.
Some of the people joined us. Serena. Hi, Serena.
Hi, Serena.
Castillo. Linda Schwartz had an interesting comment here.
Yeah.
She makes a decision, and then she asks her guides for 3 signs that she cannot miss over the next 24, 48 hours to confirm that she made a good decision.
I love it. So what happens?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty good.
Okay, but I want to hear the rest of it. You told me part of the story, Linda. I want to hear the rest of it.
Do you get those signs?
Right. Give us the answer.
And
okay.
what happens if you don't get those signs?
Don't leave us hanging like this, Linda.
Go.
Cliffhanger, Linda.
Cliffhanger. Okay, and also she made a comment to Joy. You need to take care of the caretaker.
Oh man, and that's an understatement. Joy is amazing, and she just learns she needs to learn some of this stuff, and she's going to. Joy, you're going to get this.
There's some tough lessons coming.
Well, no, she's going to overcome them.
She will. She'll be prepared for them.
You're going to. You know why? You've got a support group now of really great women and friends that are there for you to help you through it. Joy, your group in Ask the Universal Channel, where you can get together with your channeling friends and get those answers you need when you need them. You're not alone, and you know that now. You're way ahead of the game. Okay. You're going to work it out.
And Nina joined us. Nina, we haven't seen you for a while.
Well, Nina, we missed you, kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Linda says sometimes yes, and sometimes she doesn't get the signs. It gets blocked somehow.
Okay.
That's because,
well, the only reason that happens, Linda, is either it's kind of not ready yet to show itself, or maybe you're just in not the right state of mind where you're fully connected. You're in your bliss, where everything is possible. Remember, you guys, when you're connected, you're in your bliss. You are present. You are calm and connected, okay? And when you are in that space, you don't have nothing. Remember what I said at the beginning of this session? It's not supposed to be hard. And when it's not hard and it comes through and we let ourselves off the hook, it's like a gift from God. You guys, you're going to love this when you finally start doing it. And the beginning steps, writing it in part 3, so you see the progress you're making. Okay, the progress and the setbacks, the progress and the setbacks. Pretty soon there won't be setbacks. There'll just be progress, but you've got to track it and document it. Okay, Ray, I'm going to go ahead with this, the rest of this today. We're going to close this session with the Spirit Guide's closing message about being forced to decide will be your litmus test. But before I do that, right, got a few announcements, fun stuff, you guys. Tomorrow, Wednesday, August 28th, join me at 6 p.m. Right here on my Facebook page, Linda Deir Author. This will be about the secret decisions you made. Okay, I'm going to help you guys remember some of them. And when you made them, by the way, hint, you made them back when you were a little kid. You made them and you didn't tell anybody because it was too aggravating to tell anybody. You didn't want to be questioned about it, okay? You made most of these early decisions without telling anyone. You did not want to be challenged by anyone's judgment of what you decided. Your ability to make good decisions now is based on how you originally made them. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow night. So bring your questions using my guided journey. Your spirit guides and I will help you with this. Bring those questions. I think tonight primed the pump for that. So I know you guys are going to have great questions. So we'll see you tomorrow night on that. And mark your calendars. What is it, Ray? Only a week and a half?
It's a week from Saturday.
A week from Saturday, September 7th. In just a week and a half from now, Ray and I will be live on location in Phoenix, Arizona at Storm Wisdom between 1 and 3 p.m. This event will be about making the connection to your spirit guides with Linda Deir. It's $35 and includes a free paperback copy of My Guided Journey, a $15 value. You can also attend this event via online streaming for just $9.95.
The marvels of technology.
It's going to be great, you
we
guys.
have people signed up already from all over the world.
We do. So you guys are going to love this, okay? Don't miss it. If you can't make it physically, sign up for the live streaming.
And you don't have to be there at the time that the event's actually going on when you sign up for the live stream.
Right.
You can watch it for the next 30 days
on
as
demand.
many times as you want to on demand.
Right, right. But only the people who bought it will be able to see it. All right.
And you know what? The people who watch it via the live stream,
yes,
they can win a great prize, remember?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Somebody who watches it
on live streaming
over Zoom,
right,
will have a chance to win a free half-hour coaching session with Linda.
Right. Okay. And we're going to do it over Zoom, just like you see us now, except you'll be in the frame too. And then it'll just be between you and me. And then I'll send you the video and the audio. It's very cool.
That's $110 value.
$110, yeah. So that's for the people who sign up for the live streaming of the event, because we know there's so many of you that aren't in Phoenix or in California where it's nearby. It makes it kind of hard, so we don't leave any of you out, all right? To watch the video trailer and register for this event, click on the link in the description of this video. And then finally, next Tuesday, September 3rd, join me right here on my Facebook page, Linda Deir Author. This will be a Q&A and commentary with me and my spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so don't miss it. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, my spirit guides will be talking about the 15-minute daily guided meeting. What if you had a 15-minute meeting every day with your spirit guides? How would that change your life? In that 15-minute a day meeting, you can solve all your problems, all your suffering, all your doubt and fear about the future, and eliminate the struggle in your life that dominates your actions and decision making. The spirit guides will provide the steps you must take daily to have this meeting with them, this most important meeting with them every day. So that's what we're going to be doing next Tuesday. It kind of feeds each week, kind of feeds off of each other. It's the way the guides lay this down, so you guys can really, you can achieve the results that you hope to make. Not just something where you learn about it and it kind of fades away. And no, this is building on itself. That's why when you write in your journal, it's building on itself. The truth is coming out, it's unfolding. The guidance is showing up on the pages as it infiltrates your writing. You're going to see it. You're going to feel the connection.
You're not really learning anything, are you?
No, you aren't, Ray.
You're remembering.
That is right. You're coming back into the picture. And when that happens, it's like a domino effect. Your life lights right up. Now, when you bring that into this world and you come back together again, you guys are going to be so powerful. You're going to be so capable. You're not going to doubt yourself again, all right? So now we're going to close this session about, what is this session, Ray?
Being forced to decide will be your litmus test.
You guys, you're going to get good at this, okay? Trust me. It's a lot of fun. And when you get there, you're going to look back at your life and go, never, that will never happen again. All right. So here they go.
Don't be discouraged if you find it difficult making decisions. It's a skill that you perfect gradually. Nobody is born a great decision maker. If everybody could make a clear decision about anything, salespeople would not exist.
That's good.
That's really.
Hold on.
It's something that you gradually feel comfortable with. It's a skill that, with our help, becomes yet another tool in your toolbox. Look at someone you know that you think is a good decision maker. You can even ask them how they do it. How is it it comes so easy to them? It's because they have listened to their own guidance and followed it without second guessing or allowing doubt to cloud the decision. The most difficult part is isolating yourself away from what others will say or what you will think they'll do. That has no bearing on the outcome of an important decision.
Okay, I'm going to use something as an example of that. I'm going to use guided in one of the parts of guided. I talked about my first divorce. We were superstars in Sacramento, California. I mean, home builders, general contractors, subcontractors. I was an architect. I mean, it was before we were in our early 20s. All right. Unbelievable. All right. And so my husband and I were on fire. We were superstars at that time in our community with everything we were doing. That was outstanding. And we did everything well. It was just, well, what can I say? It was just timing, and guidance came through, and I acted on it and he acted on it. We were right in there. All right. And then there came a point when my husband lost his way, let's put it like that, and I had to divorce him. Okay. And the guides came to me, and they said that there's going to be, okay, let me get my head around this. Okay, about the decision about divorcing him. And when I made that decision to divorce him, this is what it was. Our dirt was going to be out on the street. Okay, these superstar kids that did miraculous things, unbelievable. Okay, our image was about to be tarnished. And I sat back and I thought to myself, this is going to be embarrassing, right? And I said, okay, this is how I'm going to have to deal with this. I'm going to put my dirt on the street before anybody gets their little hands on it, and they could be the first ones to tell everyone the gory details in the news about, you know, superstar kids get divorced, their little fairy tale world, their dream is shattered, right? I mean, they would make it into something that was way worse than it really was. So I put the dirt out on the street. Guess what? We're getting divorced. Didn't work out. He wound up having affairs. I had to throw some dirt in there. I mean, it's not a good, story or it's like the Star of the Inquirer. It's not a good gossipy thing unless you throw a little goo on it, So I threw some on there. He was having an affair, buying his girlfriend cars and stuff. And so I had to divorce him. No choice. I'm out of this, okay? When that happened, everybody was like, yeah, we heard about it, It was no fun. There was nothing juicy and gooey to take out there and spread the dirt, okay? So my point being, when you have something where you are terrified that somebody's going to, like the reputation, that they're going to tear you to shreds, put the dirt out on the street yourself, okay? Put it out there and make sure you put some goo on it. It's got to have a little bit of,
excitement.
Yeah, drama, gossip. Right. It's got to have some of that, or they're going to add it. And when you should have done that, and then you took all the fun out of it. So when you feel like it, and when you're going to do this, okay, what I'm asking you to do to start to break this hold that this thing has on you about what people are going to think or what they're going to say or do or any of that, it's the more you feel that, the more you need to do this. All right, so you get your journal out. You guys, I'm asking you to belly up to the bar. I'm talking about muscling up to the situation. I'm talking about you being in control, okay? This is my choice. This is why I have fun in my life. Okay, so I said this is not supposed to be hard, didn't I? I keep telling you that. Make it fun. Write it in part 3. Put your strategy together in part 3. Imagine it. Sleep on it. Let your guides come to you because they're going to be behind you on this, all right? This is going to remove the dilemma. There'll be no ramifications. There'll be no ripple effect. You have just killed all the fun. So that's what I want you guys to practice. I want you guys to start doing this. But you've got to write it down, your strategy. You've got to sleep with it. You've got to taste it. You've got to smell it. You've got to look in the mirror and see it. You've got to believe it. You've got to, when you lay this down and you put this out there, you've got to be effective with it. You can't just go, oh, you've got to be strong with it. You got to really put it out there, okay? This is your production. It's not somebody else's where they go in there and they destroy you or attempt to. You take all the fun out of it, all right? So that's what you do. That's far from isolating yourself from it, isn't it? Okay.
So then when everybody says to those people, "Oh, where'd you hear that?" "Well, Linda told me."
Well, that's really no fun. You know, God, you took the fun out of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
I wish
rumor mill.
it was a rumor and a really
Juicy one.
gory one.
Yeah.
You guys just have to take the control back. You're not someone they walk on. Okay, no, this is your party. This is your life. This is you in your wholeness. You're back again. Okay, then you're going to know what to do. Rely on this. Rely on this. Part 3, write these things down. You guys are going to get this. Okay, we will see you guys tomorrow night. Right here.
Yeah, won't that be fun?
Same place, same time. Good night.
Until then, be kind to everybody. Take control, though.
That's right.
Good night.